Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim-Nakra, and taking a look at some of the top stories that we are following right now. And there's a fight over some important documents in Fulton County's historic election indictment right now, but they're not tied to any of the defendants. Instead, they're actually linked to the woman prosecuting the case, District Attorney Fani Willis. Well, Atlanta News First Don Shipman is with the First Alert breaking news tracker outside the Fulton County DA's office downtown, and that is where defense attorneys say they're actually missing some of what they're asking for. Here's his report.
A big win for the defense in this case. The judge ruling that the DA has to turn over those documents. The DA telling us she has.
I have to ask for it every different way I can possibly ask for it.
The documents in question are tied to Fani Willis's relationship with the case's top prosecutor, Nathan Wade. The defense attorney is Ashley Merchant, who represents a former Trump campaign official charged in this case. Now, she was the one who made the Willis and Wade relationship public and has been trying to disqualify Willis from the case. A state appeals court will take up that case in December. But right now, Merchant is trying to get documents related to Wade and Willis and says that the DA's office is denying her those records. Willis told Atlanta News First that's simply not true.
I know that there are more that we have not received. You'd see, part of an email, and then you'd have no to, from, no date, nothing like that. And then you'd have another part, and then you'd have a link that didn't actually have a hyperlink.
For 4 years, we have given every person open records for free. So you look and see what government entity you're a reporter. You know how much you pay for open records all across the state. We give them for free.
A new court filing now from the DA, and in it she claims that Merchant has what she needs and is only carrying out a lawsuit to, quote, obstruct justice, impact a criminal prosecution, an upcoming election, and to harass the district attorney's staff. The DA's office may also still be on the hook for those attorney's fees, something the judge still has to decide. We're downtown. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
And the YSL trial resuming today, and it comes as more testimony was heard yesterday for the first time since a star witness was sent to jail. Jurors heard from an Atlanta police gang investigator on a very controversial part of this trial. Now, Atlanta News First Yasmina Alston has more on what happened in court.
Witness testimony continued on Monday in the Young Thug trial after one of the prosecution's star witnesses was jailed for backtracking on his testimony. Antonio Sledge was the former head of security for YSL record label who changed his statements on YSL being a gang. Well, on the stand now, another of the state's witnesses, Atlanta gang investigator Underwood, who spoke mostly on gang culture and the use of song lyrics, both by gangs and by investigators.
It depends. Every investigation is different. So if we do listen to it just to see if we can get any kind of, I guess, maybe confessions. Sometimes it's confessions in music or any kind of thing that is said that relates back to our investigation.
A couple of Young Thug songs were played in the courtroom, after which prosecutors asked their witness to pinpoint some of the lyrics in the songs and what they could mean if they were tied to incidents that actually happened.
What is the name of that song? Slime, S-word. And who was the artist? Young Thug.
And just a reminder, you can watch this trial start to finish, gavel to gavel, on Atlanta News First Plus. If you just watch our special event stream, our secondary stream as we call it, again, you can watch every moment inside the courtroom. We are streaming it on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, YouTube, and really anywhere you can stream. All right, let's turn to another story that we are following as well, involving Chick-fil-A, if you're a fan of Chick-fil-A. So they are launching a new streaming platform aimed at kids. Of course, Chick-fil-A based here in Atlanta. So the app is called ChickfilA Play. It's going to feature original animated shows, podcasts, games, kid-friendly recipes, and crafts. Chick-fil-A calls it a digital playground meant to be shared by parents and kids. This app is going to launch on November 18th. Okay, let's talk about this gorgeous weather that we have been seeing all around Metro Atlanta. First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi has been giving us some beautiful weather days. I mean, This is like the kind of weather, I think this is what I had in mind when I moved to Atlanta, Courtney, is that it would just be like this every single day in my mind. That's what I was dreaming of.
You know, and that's why so many people, I feel like, move to the Southeast are like, wow, beautiful weather. And then it's like, lots of rain, it gets cold, tropical systems. It's like, wait, did I sign up for this? I don't know. But we definitely do appreciate this more after stuff like that. So what you're looking at over the last 7 days, this is our temperature trend. So we'll continue to warm up. You noticed last week, obviously, it was very, very cold, well below average with only a high of 63 on Wednesday. Well, yesterday we topped out at 80 degrees. So our warming trend has begun and it will continue through this week. So if you are a warm weather lover like myself, you will really like the next couple of days, that's for sure. So as we go through this week, you'll need the jackets for the morning, just like you have the past couple of mornings. By the afternoon, t-shirt weather. So make sure you're dressing in layers. Here's a look at your high temperatures this afternoon, just about identical to yesterday. Highs in the upper 70s to near 80, a high of 80 degrees in the city of Atlanta, maybe some low to mid 70s in the higher elevations of the mountains, but overall a really nice day. Really nice night. If you have any dinner plans tonight, maybe you are going to go and have a date night on a Tuesday. Why not? It's going to be a great night. Maybe you want to sit outside our beautiful patios this time of year. Temperatures in the upper 70s by 5, and we'll drop near 70 around 7. That is just wonderful weather. And then we'll drop into the low 60s at 9. So after sunset, temperatures will cool pretty quickly, but a great night to head out and about, maybe grab some dinner. Overnight lows will eventually drop into the low to mid 50s, a couple of upper 40s out there tomorrow morning. So again, light jacket weather. You don't need the coat anymore. You can tuck those away for a little while, but nice and comfortable morning. Chilly, but comfortable nonetheless. As we head into tomorrow, we will have an even warmer day. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the low 80s, and we'll stay in the low 80s all the way into the upcoming weekend, at least the start of it. In a couple of days, we'll be near, if not at, record heat, believe it or not, after being in the 60s for highs last week. Some spots were waking up freezing. Remember, we had those frost advisories and freeze warnings last week. Now here we are talking about record heat. Weather whiplash. Welcome to Georgia in the fall, everybody. Friday, a high of 83. The record is 82, set all the way back in 1940. And then Saturday, our high is 84. The record is 85. So very close to record heat this upcoming weekend. It is not necessarily going to feel fall-like in the afternoon. Our normal high temperature this time of year is around 72 degrees. So we'll be well above that. But we will have a cold front move through and bring us some rain at the end of the week, at least a small chance of rain at the end of the weekend, and we need that. This month so far, we've picked up 0 inches of rain, not a single trace, not a 1/100th of an inch of rain, and so that's putting us in a deficit of just over 2 inches. But the most astonishing thing about this is that if we continue on this trend and don't pick up any rain, of course, our rain gauge for the city of Atlanta at the airport, we have never had a completely dry month on record ever in the city of Atlanta. So this would be a huge record-breaking entity here in the city of Atlanta. So we'll hope we can get some rain, not only, of course, for our plants and our flowers and all the things in our grass, but also because we just don't need to put ourselves in the record books like this. After having the 3rd wettest September last month, here we are now in October potentially breaking a record. But again, we do have a chance for rain. It looks like October does end. I believe it's next Thursday's Halloween, the 31st. So we have a few days left, and a lot can happen in just a few days. And a cold front is going to be one of those things that happens to bring us a chance for rain. So Sunday into Monday, we'll watch for maybe a few showers. The rain chance right now at 20%, and hopefully we can pick up some measurable rainfall to not only kind of help out our yards a little bit and some of the leaves that are starting to change. You know, those trees need moisture and water to be able to keep those leaves on the trees longer, but also so we don't put ourselves in the record books for the first ever dry month on record in the city of Atlanta, because I feel like we've broken enough records the last couple of months. All right, so here's a look at the rainfall totals. So this is the European model. This model is thinking we could pick up at least 1/10 of an inch of rain, maybe 2/10 of an inch of rain through Monday at the airport, which would be great. Right now, the record lowest is just a trace of rain, so it's technically measurable in some fashion, and that was in October, believe it or not, in 1963. So that's our current record when it comes to the lowest rainfall ever in Atlanta for a month, and it looks like we could break that if we pick up at least 1/10 of an inch of rain. So something we'll be watching really carefully for you. We do also have Tropical Storm Oscar and the tropics, and we will continue to watch the tropics. Hurricane season doesn't end until the end of November, and it looks like we might spark up another storm heading into the beginning of November, something we'll be watching really carefully for you. But I will say I was looking into, we call them teleconnections. It's kind of how the Earth and its atmosphere all connects. You have rising and sinking phases in the atmosphere sometimes, and it looks like the rising motion, which usually usually helps promote thunderstorm activity and ultimately promotes hurricane activity. That's going to shift east more so towards the Pacific, and we're going to get into more of what we call a sinking phase. So that suppresses anything from rising and suppresses hurricane activity a little more. So we'll transition into a phase that looks less conducive for hurricane development, it seems like, as we head into the end of October and early November. But we are watching potentially for something to spark up before we get that sinking phase to really take hold. So something we're watching. All you need to know is that we're keeping an eye on the tropics until we end out hurricane season, of course. And so, but right now, nothing impacting us as far as we can see. In the meantime, beautiful weather. Warm afternoons, chilly mornings, lots of sunshine, low 80s really for the foreseeable future until we head into Saturday. And then that cold front will take us from the 80s to the upper 70s on Sunday and then back near 70 on Monday. So we will go into a cooler pattern, it looks like, next week. Temperatures should stay generally in the 70s next week. If you're thinking about Halloween already, we're already looking at that forecast. Looks like we might be in the mid 70s, maybe a small chance of rain on Halloween as well. So something we'll fine tune for you as we get closer. But right now, it doesn't look like you're going to need the really thick jackets over those Halloween costumes. We'll keep you posted on it. All right, everyone, thanks so much for spending some time with us here on Atlanta News First Plus for your weather and your news. Make sure to stay tuned here throughout the day for any updates, and make sure to have that First Alert weather app handy for any changes in the forecast that may come. We're always updating that as well. Make it a great Tuesday.